All right, let's talk about one of the most fascinating and honestly most misunderstood rivalries in modern tennis, Roger Federer versus Nick Kyrgios. I mean, you look at the stats on paper and it looks like a complete joke, right? You've got an absolute legend of the sport, Roger Federer, with 103 titles and 20 Grand Slams, and then you have Nick Kyrgios with 6 titles and 0 slams. So what gives? If it's such a mismatch, why were their matches always so nail-bitingly close? Because when these two guys stepped on court, the statistics went out the window, and something just electric happened. Get this, the first 6 sets they ever played against each other all went to a tiebreak. Every single one. That's not a legend schooling a nobody. No, that's a battle. It's raw talent going up against raw talent. So the answer to this whole paradox, the key to the whole thing, it really comes down to one shot, the serve. And this is where their unorthodox genius is practically identical. You know, people say the serve is the most important shot in tennis. For these two, it's literally everything. It's the foundation that lets them build these spectacular, aggressive, can't-look-away styles of play. We can actually break down this serve genius into 3 core ideas, 3 pillars that both of them absolutely mastered. And it's these 3 things that turned what should have been a lopsided rivalry into must-see TV. So let's start with the first one, the secret of disguise. This is all about the art of being unpredictable, a technique, by the way, that they both pretty much learned from the great Pete Sampras. And the secret is surprisingly simple. It all comes down to the ball toss. They use the exact same toss no matter where they're about to hit the ball. This makes it a complete nightmare for their opponents to get any kind of read on where it's going. Famous coach Patrick Mouratoglou said it perfectly about Sampras. It's impossible to tell where the ball is going because the toss is always the same. At the last possible second, they can decide wide, tee, body, and the returner is just left completely flat-footed. Now here's where it gets really interesting and kind of blows up a common myth. Most tennis coaches will tell you to hit a slice serve, you gotta toss the ball out to your right. But look at this. Both Federer and Kyrgios actually toss it to their left for a slice. Why? It's all part of the disguise. It lets them use that same tossing motion for any serve they want to hit. Okay, so that brings us to the second pillar. And it's this idea that their genius isn't about having perfect textbook form. It's about being ruthlessly efficient. We've all heard it, right? To get real power, you have to jump forward, into the court. It feels intuitive, sure, but, well, the physics just tells a totally different story. That big forward jump, it adds less than 1 mile per hour to the serve speed. That's it. The real power comes from coiling and uncoiling the body, from that explosive racket head speed. The jump isn't the cause of the power, it's the result of it. And this is where Kyrgios takes this idea of efficiency to an absolute extreme. He weaponizes not just disguise, but time itself with his one-of-a-kind service rhythm. I love this comment from a fan on Reddit. It just captures it so perfectly. There's no pause, no hesitation. It's just this one fluid, explosive motion that gives you absolutely no time to think. So how does he do it? It's a low toss, a lightning-fast motion, and he makes contact right near the peak of the toss. All of that just shaves critical fractions of a second off the returner's reaction time. It totally disrupts the rhythm. So we have disguise, and we have efficiency. The third element, the one that turns all this technical skill into pure entertainment, is their unshakable audacity. We're talking about the guts to go for broke on a big point, to hit an underarm serve, or to blast a second serve ace when all the pressure is on. That's what makes their matches just electrifying. And this chart says it all. You'd think the best servers are just the tallest guys, right? Well, compare Kyrgios to Alexander Zverev. Kyrgios is actually 2 inches shorter, but his ace percentage is more than double. That's not height, folks. That's technique and audacity winning out. So there you have it. That's the shared genius. It's built on unreadable disguise, minimalist efficiency, and just pure, unshakable boldness. And look, when your serve is that much of a weapon, it frees you up to take risks and be creative everywhere else on the court. It makes the whole match better. And that combination is why we got some of the most spectacular points you'll ever see. They prove that modern tennis doesn't have to be a boring baseline slugfest. It can be filled with trick shots, flair, and just moments of pure genius. So it kind of leaves us with one last thought. Maybe the real way to measure a great rivalry isn't just counting up the trophies.
Maybe it's about the unforgettable moments of spectacle it creates. What do we really remember in the end? The score or the show?